Everyone, I'm Sharon Platt. I am one of the tutors, one of the science tutors at the Student Success Commons. And today I would like to go over the muscles of the arm. This is just going to be a quick preview, and in later videos I'll go in more in depth on each muscle. So this is our deltoid muscle. You can see it's kind of a triangular shape, and that's why it's called the deltoid, from the Greek letter delta. The capital D is just a triangle. A river delta gets its name from the same letter. So that's our deltoid. That's our upper arm right here, up on the shoulder. And down just below that, here is our biceps brachii. That's right here on the brachial part of our arm. Underneath that is the brachialis. That's a synergist of our biceps brachii. And then on the other side of the arm, so that's going to be back here, are the triceps brachii. They are the antagonist of the biceps brachii. And the third one I think is right here. It's kind of hard to see, but that is the triceps brachii. Then let's go over the rotator cuff muscles. And this here is the spine of the scapula. If you remember the scapula from bones, and if you remember the fossas, they will give you the names of the muscles. So this was the supraspinous fossa up here. This is the supraspinatus muscle. And this one is a synergist of the deltoid. Those two work together. Then down here we have the infraspinous fossa. That is the infraspinatus. And right below that, see how it looks like it's almost the same muscle? But it's not really. This is the teres minor. These are also synergists, same origin, same insertion, same motion. On the back side, we have the subscapular fossa, which contains the subscapularis muscle. And those are your 4 rotator cuff muscles. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have this extra little one here. This one is the teres major. Notice how the teres major starts over here, but he goes under the armpit and winds up over here. And he winds up with the same insertion point as the subscapularis. So those two also are synergists. So that is that part of the arm. Now let's go down to the lower part of the arm. This is where it gets a little tricky. I'll try to make it as easy as possible. First of all, we're going to start on the flexor side. You lower the angle. We're on the flexor side. And the first one, the one right in the middle, we call palmaris longus. It goes right down into the palm. And you see that tendon? It goes right over the retinaculum. All the other tendons go under there. This one goes over. That's palmaris longus. And then we're going to learn the 2 on either side. Now we're not going to bother with this here in the middle. We're going to go 1, skip 1, 2, skip 1, 3. Somehow that makes it easier for me. We'll deal with the one in here later. But these 3 are the ones we're going to learn on the surface. So you have your palmaris longus. Over here we're on the flexor side, so it's flexor carpi because it's controlling the wrist, not the fingers. And it's on the thumb side, so it's going to be radialis longus. So flexor carpi radialis longus. Over here, so 1, skip 1, 2, skip 1. Here's the third one. This one is going to be flexor carpi, same thing, ulnaris because it's on the pinky side. It's on the ulnar side of the arm. So flexor carpi ulnaris, palmaris longus, flexor carpi radialis. Then underneath here are the ones that control the fingers. So they're going to be called digitorum. So this one up here, you see how there's a muscle here, muscle here, muscle here, and then there's one underneath them? That is going to be called the flexor. Again, we're on the flexor side. Digitorum, controls the fingers. Superficialis, because it's more superficial than another one. And if you look here, it's kind of a flat muscle. And again, it controls the flexing of the fingers. And then underneath that, we have flexor digitorum profundus. Think profound, deep, it's underneath the superficialis. So flexor digitorum profundus. Now the fun thing about these guys is their tendons have to, of course, go all the way down into the fingers. See this little V, these little upside down V's? Those are the superficialis. The tendon for those actually comes down and makes a loop. And then the tendons from the profundus go through that loop and all the way to the end of the fingers. And this is often how we identify, rather than identifying the muscles up here, we often identify them by the tendons, because the superficialis goes to the middle and the profundus goes all the way to the end of the fingers. Then we have our extensors. They're going to be on the other side, right? We're extending that wrist joint. And here we only need 3. We don't have 5 on this side. The one in the middle, right here, we'll start with that one again, is extensor digitorum. Extensor, it's extending the fingers. It's actually probably that there, from straight to out. So that's your extensor digitorum, and that has tendons that go down into the fingers. And then we're going to do that 1, skip 1, 2, skip 1, 3 thing again, but we're going to come up here to do it. So we're going to do 1, skip 1, 2, there's our middle one, skip 1, 3, okay? And we've got the same pattern. So this one here is going to be our extensor. We're on the extensor side. This one's carpi. This controls the wrist. And because it's on this side, the thumb side, it's going to be radialis. Extensor carpi radialis. That's that one right there. And then we go back to our middle, skip 1 over here. This is going to be our extensor carpi ulnaris, because it's on the pinky side. Now on the other side of our extensor carpi radialis, and I believe this one is only in the lab, not in the class, this is our brachioradialis, this nice great big one here that kind of twists all the way around. It's starting up on the brachial part of the arm, brachio, coming down to the thumb, radialis, brachioradialis. And that is the arm.